I got to see Wicked for Good a little early. Is it any good? Let's talk about it. Part 2 follows Elphaba, the future Wicked Witch of the West, and her relationship with Glenda, the Good Witch of the North. So it's been 1 year since Part 1 of Wicked released in theaters, and if you didn't know, I went into that movie not excited, but it surprised me, and I left as a new fan of this story because of how fresh it all felt, but also because of how much detail it added to a movie that I already loved, being The Wizard of Oz. But now with Wicked for Good, which covers the second half of the play, I was nervous for this one because some people told me, oh, it's not as good because of how dark it is, or the story is much weaker. But now after watching it, I can say that I don't agree with those sentiments because I was once again surprised by this film with how extravagant it was, and I found it to be wickedly stunning. This is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I honestly think that this is a better film than the first Wicked for a couple reasons. The first one being that it had such a stronger story and it was much more compelling in my eyes. You have some twists and turns in the plot and some very interesting character developments and surprises, especially if you haven't seen the play like me. Secondly, after watching both of these movies back to back, yes, I watched the first Wicked last night, and then tonight I watched Wicked for Good. So I had, a crazy experience. It was a crazy good experience, but I ultimately think that the Wicked story works better when it's aiming to be a much more serious and darker film than when it chooses to be, more silly and happy. Don't get me wrong, I loved the moments in the first Wicked where they're at like Shiz Academy just having fun, dancing through life, as that song is called, and the popular song. But when they arrived to Oz in that first Wicked, I was kind of just going a bit down on that film. I was like, I'm not enjoying it as much. But then when Wicked for Good started, I was like, oh, it's taking a real dark turn. I like when movies do that. Like the first half is, kind of silly, kind of fun. But when it takes that darker turn, it really levels the film up in my eyes and levels the whole story up. Like I appreciate the first Wicked much more now, but I think that this one works so much better because of how dark it is and how serious it takes itself. I think that was just such a great decision there. The only major category in which I think the first Wicked is better is with its soundtrack because man, that first Wicked was popping with its songs. As I said, Dancing Through Life, popular, such great songs. You can list those songs without the movie and still really enjoy them just in the car. Like Dancing Through Life, like that's a great song, man. I really enjoyed that song. But now with Wicked for Good, I felt pretty underwhelmed by the soundtrack here. Don't get me wrong, there are some good songs here that I enjoyed, like Every Day More Wicked. I thought that one was pretty fantastic to start the film. The Wicked Witch of the East was also pretty good. And then No Good Deed might have been my favorite song in the movie just because Cynthia Erivo's performance was outstanding. But I mean, that's about it. I don't know if I'm going to be listening to this soundtrack, in the car, like with the first one without the movie, because I don't think it means a lot. But I mean, yeah, these songs work with the story, but I think like 60% of them are just a little boring. So if I'm comparing the two, I would say that the first Wicked is a better musical, while Wicked for Good is a better story and overall film. John M. Chu should get a big round of applause for what he accomplished with both of these films because it's hard to make a musical, but he did it 2 times with 2 different parts, and I'm pretty sure that he shot them back to back. That's really impressive. He's probably really tired after making both these films. His direction is fantastic for both of these. He knows how to make a great musical, but yet again, I'll say that his direction in this part is much better and feels like he really wanted to make it his own darker way, and he made a strong and compelling ending. For the cast, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are both yet again fantastic. Just like in the first movie, they're easily going to get nominated for Oscars, both of them. Their performances as Elphaba and Glinda are unmatched. I love them both together. They just provide some great emotional sequences. So I thought they were great. Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard of Oz. I love him in these movies. I thought he was one of the best parts of the first one. In this one, he has some fun scenes, especially with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Michelle Yeoh, I was a bit underwhelmed by her here because some of her line readings just seemed a bit off. I mean, she's a fantastic actress, but I don't know what was happening with this movie. I mean, she was a bit off here. I really enjoyed seeing Fiyero again and Bach, even though they are a bit sidelined for some of this film. You don't really see them a lot, but I was kind of sad about that because they are some of the best parts of that first movie. And once Nessa came on screen, my hatred grew inside me. I was like, I hate Nessa, get her off my screen. And she did even more in this movie for me to hate her. I mean, she is so annoying. I cannot believe that her character is that annoying, but I was very happy when she got crushed by the house. Just like in the first movie, the crafts in this film are beautiful. I mean, come on. The production design and costume design is out of this world, quite literally. I mean, how do you do this? I mean, that production design, costume design, it's so freaking good. The Tin Man looked amazing. The Scarecrow you see for just a little bit. I wish you got to see a little bit more of him. But yeah, I mean, The Wizard of Oz, that story, that movie is applauded for its costume design and set design, but this one just levels it up because it does feel so modern, looks so great. So I think they did a wonderful job once again. Now with the cinematography and lighting, this is something that I was quite worried about because the first movie, it had some moments that looked beautiful, but I mean, most of the film in my eyes looked pretty ugly because of how washed out everything was and how the backlighting really ruined some scenes. But this one, it's done a lot better. I mean, there's some ugly shots in it, but I think in the first one it's like 60-40, 60% ugly, 40% great. And now this one's like 85-15, I would say. 85% great, 15% ugly. So the visuals really leveled up for this one. We'll run through its Oscar chances real quickly because I'm going to be doing a big Oscars video in a couple weeks, but I think that its nominations are going to be for Best Picture pretty easily. Director, I doubt it because he didn't get nominated for the first one, but maybe actress pretty easily. Supporting actors, also costume design, production design. I'm gonna be interested to see how that run shapes out with Wicked and Frankenstein both going at it. That's gonna be really fun. And then I have it in for makeup, hair, visual effects, casting maybe, and then song. So it's gonna get a lot of Oscar nominations. Overall, Wicked for Good is an extravagant and wickedly stunning end to this story. John M. Chu did an excellent job at bringing this musical to life with such care and grace. I was much more invested in the story this time around, and I love the darker tone that this film took. The soundtrack definitely isn't great, but it still has a few outliers that are pretty dang good. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are outright fantastic and command each scene that they are in. The production and costume design are also amazing yet again. This was a great cinematic experience. I'm going to give Wicked for Good a strong 8 out of 10. If you also saw Wicked for Good or do plan to see this movie, come back and leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to hear what you thought of the movie. If you did enjoy my review though, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel because it is free to do so, but I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.